You wake up every morning, check your phone, scroll mindlessly, and convince yourself that today will be different, but it won't, because you're trapped. You're not broke because the economy's bad. You're not broke because life is unfair. You're broke because you think like a loser. And that's exactly why you'll stay broke. You've been programmed since birth to see money as something you earn by trading your time. You've been taught that working hard at a stable job is the smart way to live. But look around. How many people do you know who followed that path and are actually winning? How many people work their entire lives just to retire old, weak, and tired? If hard work was the key, the guy breaking his back on a construction site would be a millionaire. But he's not, because the system never rewards hard work. It rewards smart work. You've been sold a lie so deep that you defend it. You laugh at the idea of making money online. You call people scammers when they try to teach you how to escape, because your mind is so deeply programmed to believe that financial freedom is either a scam or an impossible dream. You refuse to believe that you're the problem, so you blame the government, your boss, inflation, everything except the person in the mirror. You refuse to accept that wealth is a mindset first and money second, and because of that, you'll stay exactly where you are, stuck, broken, confused. And here's the worst part. The system wants you weak. The system wants you broke. The system wants you dependent. They designed it that way. You think it's a coincidence that school never taught you about taxes, investments, or building wealth? Is not. Because if you knew how money actually worked, you wouldn't be sitting in a cubicle taking orders from a boss who doesn't care about you. You wouldn't be drowning in debt, financing a lifestyle you can't afford just to impress people who don't even like you. They need you trapped. They need you to take out loans, to stay in debt, to keep working for a paycheck that barely covers your expenses. They give you weekends off just so you don't completely break. They let you have just enough money to survive, but never enough to escape. And you accept it. You live for the small moments of escape, watching Netflix, scrolling TikTok, ordering junk food, because deep down you know you're stuck and distractions are the only thing that keep you from facing reality. You are a modern day slave. You don't have chains on your hands, but you have chains on your mind. And that's even worse. They put you in school at 5 years old and force you to sit in a chair for 8 hours a day. You're told to follow the rules, memorize useless facts, and obey authority without question. But did they ever teach you how to make money? Did they ever show you how to invest, build wealth, or escape the rat race? No, because that was never the goal. The goal was to turn you into a worker, a cog in their machine. You weren't trained to think, you were trained to comply. They taught you just enough to function in society, but never enough to break free from it. They made you believe that getting good grades meant you were smart, that going to college meant you were successful, that working a stable job meant you were secure. But look at the reality. Millions of graduates drowning in debt, working jobs they hate, barely making enough to survive. The ones who followed the safe path are the ones struggling the most. They were promised security, but all they got was a lifetime of bills and stress. And the worst part? You still defend this system. You believe in it because you don't know anything else. You think the rich got lucky, that success is about privilege, that making money is complicated. Meanwhile, the wealthy laugh at you because they know the truth. Money is simple when you understand how it works, but they will never teach you that. If everyone knew how to escape, who would be left to serve? Your 9-to-5 job is a prison, and you're grateful for your chains. You wake up every morning not because you want to, but because you have to. You sit in traffic, waste hours of your life working for someone else's dream, and then come home too tired to do anything about your own life. And the craziest part, you think this is normal. You think this is how life is supposed to be. You convince yourself that you're lucky to even have a job, that you should be grateful for your salary even though it barely covers your expenses. They've brainwashed you so well that you don't even see the trap you're in. They give you just enough to survive, but never enough to escape. They give you the illusion of choice. Pick this job or that job, work for this company or that one. But in the end, you're still a worker. You're still a servant, still exchanging your time for money while the people above you get richer without lifting a finger. The CEO makes more in a day than you make in a year, and you still believe that hard work will set you free. You work overtime hoping for a raise while your boss takes vacations you can't afford. You save money like a good little employee while inflation eats away at your bank account. And yet, you don't question any of it. You accept it because it's all you've ever known. If you're not making money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. This is the truth they don't want you to realize. You were trained to believe that money is something you trade your time for, that the only way to earn is to clock in, work hours, and then get a paycheck. But that's the slowest and most ineffective way to build wealth, because the moment you stop working, the money stops coming in. The rich don't live like this. They don't trade time for money. They make their money work for them. They own businesses, assets, and investments that generate income 24/7. They make money whether they wake up at 5 a.m. or sleep till noon. They can take vacations, disappear for months, and still come back richer than before. Meanwhile, you miss one paycheck and your entire life falls apart. You convince yourself that working harder is the solution, but it's not. You could work 100 hours a week and you'd still never be rich. The system isn't designed to reward hard work. It's designed to keep you stuck. If effort alone created wealth, construction workers and janitors would be billionaires. But they're not. Because hard work without the right strategy is just slavery. The ones who truly win are the ones who understand how to multiply their money, how to build streams of income that don't require their constant effort. But you never learned this because no one taught you. Instead, they told you to get a good job, work for 40 years, save a little money, and hope you have enough left to survive retirement. That's not a plan, that's a slow death. Comfort is the real enemy. You stay broke because you fear discomfort more than you fear being average. You don't take risks because you're scared of failure. You don't try new things because you're scared of looking stupid. You stay in the same miserable situation because at least it's familiar. This is the trap. You crave safety, but safety is the enemy of growth. Every rich, successful person you admire got there by stepping into discomfort, by doing things that scared them, by taking risks you refused to take. They started businesses when people told them they would fail. They invested when others were too afraid. They learned skills that others thought were too hard. And now they live a life you can only dream of while you sit there making excuses. Your entire mindset is built around avoiding pain, avoiding struggle, avoiding anything that forces you to grow. You stay in your comfort zone thinking it's protecting you, when really it's just keeping you weak. You won't put in the effort to learn how money works, but you'll spend hours watching TV. You won't invest in yourselves, but you'll waste money on things that bring you zero value. You don't want success, you want ease. You want everything to be handed to you without struggle, but that's not how the real world works. Poor people worship entertainment, rich people worship discipline. That's the difference. Look at how you spend your time. You wake up and the first thing you do is check social media, scroll through nonsense, laugh at stupid videos, and distract yourself from your own miserable reality. You spend hours every day consuming entertainment. Movies, TV shows, video games, gossip, things that do nothing for your future, nothing for your bank account, nothing for your freedom. Meanwhile, the rich are doing the exact opposite. They are learning new skills, building businesses, making connections, growing stronger while you grow weaker. Entertainment is designed to keep you poor. It's not a coincidence that every major platform is filled with distractions, trendy dances, viral challenges, celebrity drama. It's all there to make sure you never focus on what actually matters. You waste hours watching other people live their lives while your own life stays exactly the same. And the worst part, you defend it. You say, I just need to relax. I deserve a break. It's just for fun. But what are you taking a break from? You're not working on your goals. You're not building anything. You're not progressing. You're taking a break from nothing, which is exactly why you have nothing. Meanwhile, the rich are obsessed with discipline. They wake up early, not because they have to, but because they control their day. They work out not because they enjoy it, but because strength equals power. They invest in themselves not because it's easy, but because they understand that knowledge is leverage. They don't waste time because they know time is the most valuable asset they have. While you binge watch Netflix, they're out building empires. And then when they have everything, wealth, power, freedom, you sit there and call them lucky as if they didn't earn it through the very discipline you refuse to develop. You cry about inflation, but you won't learn how to make more money. Every time prices go up, you panic. Gas is too expensive, groceries cost more, rent is skyrocketing. And instead of adapting, instead of finding ways to increase your income, you complain. You expect the world to adjust for you. You wait for politicians to fix things as if they care about your struggles. You expect life to get easier, but it won't. The only thing that can change is you. But instead of increasing your value, you waste time blaming external factors. You refuse to learn high compact skills. You refuse to take risks. You refuse to do what's necessary to rise above. And that's why you'll stay stuck. The rich don't complain about inflation. They benefit from it. While you're struggling with rising costs, they own assets that increase in value. While you're worried about job security, they have multiple streams of income. While you're waiting for someone to save you, they're making moves. You stay broke because you react to life instead of taking control of it. The harsh truth, No one is coming to save you. No one cares about your struggles. No one cares that life is unfair. No one cares that you had a rough childhood, that you're in debt, that you feel stuck. You can cry about it, you can complain, you can sit there feeling sorry for yourself, but at the end of the day, nothing changes unless you do something about it. The world doesn't owe you anything. Life is a brutal competition, and the ones who refuse to play get left behind. You were raised to believe that if you just do the right things, go to school, get a degree, work hard, you'll eventually be rewarded. But look around. How many people followed that formula and ended up miserable? How many people dedicated their lives to a company only to get fired when it no longer needed them? The truth is, no one is keeping track of how much effort you're putting in. No one is going to knock on your door and offer you a better life. The only way to win is to take full responsibility for where you are and make the changes necessary to escape. But most people won't. Most people would rather live in denial, blaming bad luck, the government, their circumstances, anything but themselves. Because facing the truth is painful. You were taught to be weak, conditioned to believe that if you struggle, someone will help you, that if things get hard, someone will step in. But that's not how the real world works. In the real world, people step on the weak. If you're not valuable, you're replaceable. If you're not useful, you're discarded. This is why so many people stay stuck, waiting for an opportunity that will never come. They wait for the right time, for things to get better, for someone to give them a chance. But the ones who win don't wait. They take what they want. Escape the trap or stay broke forever. There is no middle ground. Either you wake up and realize that everything is in your control, or you continue to live a life of mediocrity, struggling paycheck to paycheck, watching others succeed while you stay behind. This system is designed to keep you down, but it only works